Assalamu alaikum. We're here with Dr. Munir Al-Qasim at the Reclaim Honor event. Welcome to the show, Dr. Munir.
Thank you very much for having me.
Dr. Munir, tell me a little bit about why an event like this is important in the London Muslim community.
It's not only important in the Muslim community, it is important, period, because statistics show that a woman is physically abused every 9 seconds. And if we add to that psychological abuse and other forms of abuse, then it becomes an endemic that should attract our attention. It is very important that the event, Reclaim Honor and Promote Honor, Prevent Violence, is initiated, conducted, and done by youth, meaning that the youth really are feeling that something in the previous generation has gone wrong, and they would like to initiate a solution for that. And they have done it in such a way that they had faith leaders, they had care providers, they had families come and talk about it. So it was very important for me to come forward and touch on this very important community issue that touches all families, and knowing that the family unit is the most important unit in any community, I wanted to contribute by saying something about it.
On the show, we're trying to kind of dispel myths about people have about Muslims. Now, the Reclaim Honor event, how do you think that's going to contribute to that?
Okay. See, people today read very little, but they watch a lot. And this is contributing to a distorted view and image of Islam. And people are looking globally and seeing a world that has gone mad. And, all the violence that is conducted in the name of this peaceful, great religion. And again, I know that somebody who heard me right now say peaceful might have shrugged and said, oh yeah, because people are seeing things, and instead of getting angry at people's reaction towards what they are seeing and hearing about, it is very important that we do something about it in a wise way. And in my speech, I did stress the importance of wisdom that Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had to teach, among other things. So wisdom is very important in dealing with the issue and in dispelling all the myths that are associated with this religion. And as we say, these are myths, and we need to help people get the right picture about reality. Reality usually is covered by a layer of dust, and we are here to remove that layer.
Thank you very much, Dr. Munir.
Most welcome. You're most welcome. Thank you.
We're here with Dr. Muhammad Baubaid. Welcome to the show, Dr. Muhammad.
Yeah, thank you very much. Nice to see you again.
Dr. Muhammad, tell us a little bit about the event. Why did we have this event today?
I think that's part of the process of community awareness strategies that has been created by youth. And I think today we're going to really start a community conversation, a community dialogue on issues related to honor-related violence. And I think part of what we are trying to do really to develop some kind of community responses. So the community needs to be part of the solution and not just really to see them as part of the problem. And we're going to open a conversation and discussion and see what, for example, the community think about the whole issue. What, for example, do they think in terms of solutions, and how, for example, this project should go further. And I'm very excited. I see for the first time now, many people are coming here, men, women, youth, and very excited, and hopefully we will come up with some good results.
We're going to go for a short break, and we'll be back right after this. honoring a very, very special guest, Imam Suhaib Webb. He is a convert to Islam. He converted in 1992 at the age of 19, and he's honored to have it here in London today, and we hope you enjoy the show. Assalamu alaikum, Imam Suhaib. We're very, very honored to have you on the show today, The Muslim View. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Imam Suhaib, can you tell us about your journey to Islam, and how did you become a Muslim?
So I became Muslim almost 21 years ago through the music industry and through some personal friends and then reading. So three kind of components: personal relationships, popular culture, and then kind of an exposure to Muslims through different means.
Okay. And upon becoming a Muslim, what steps did you take to become an imam?
Well, I didn't have the plans to be an imam. I started my degrees in education initially. I was just studying because as a convert, I didn't want to be like stupid white convert guy.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I wanted to actually learn. So I didn't have that as a career goal. My career goal was to be a teacher.
Okay.
So it just kind of happened.
MashaAllah. Now, we've read that you are one of the 500 most influential speakers in the world. Tell me a little bit how you feel about that.
500 most influential
Muslim speakers, yes.
I mean, you know, accolades tend to slow people down, so I don't really pay a lot of attention to that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I think it's a great honor, but, you know, I think there's a lot of work to be done.
Good. How should we as Muslims balance our identity as Canadian Muslims?
So I'm not Canadian.
Or North American.
But I think that we need to look at our identity as something that never stops. Like it always grows, it always changes. And we need to base our identity on like basic universals like justice, participation, bringing benefit to people around us, faith carriers. We carry a faith that we believe strongly about. Altruism is something that's very important in the Muslim community. So I think we need to look at our relationship as that of a universal set of principles that most people agree upon, and allow that to be what shapes our personality, and then it's shaded by our theology, shaded by our religious affiliation.
How can we as Muslims change the image that the media portrays of Muslims? What steps would you recommend that we take?
So an empty chair can't speak for you. So we need to be more active and more engaged in the broader community so that we're able to fill the void, right? Our void tends to be filled by either really crazy Muslim people who do egregious acts and kill people and terrorism, or it's filled by extreme bigots or right-wingers who also are trying. There's a battle for shaping the rhetoric about what the Muslim community and who the Muslim community is. And if we continue not to, I gave a talk about this khutbah, and it was even on CNN, called It's Code Red for Muslims, in the sense we need to take an active role in shaping how we're perceived by being active, right? By being there for people to see us. So, we have in America like 501c3 work, nonprofit work, which a large number of Muslims are involved. You have Iman in Chicago. You have Ma'ruf, which is a great inner city Muslim organization in Milwaukee. We need to also look at social justice issues, which are shared across others. We need to be involved in the environment and those kind of concerns, which are embedded on our religion, but tend to get blotted out because of the violence and the murder and the political situations that we find ourselves stuck in.
At the time of the Prophet, there was a lot of negativity upon him presenting his message. Now, how do you believe he would have reacted to what's happening to Muslims today?
So the Quran in the 52nd chapter, actually 42nd chapter, says, idfa billati ahsan, right? Tells the Prophet in the face of mounting opposition and continued personal attacks, give back which is better. Right? So even the whole cartoon issue, the reaction of the Muslim world, Muslim communities to the cartoons, have we forgotten, that the Prophet himself, when he was insulted, didn't react so viscerally. I don't think I could say how the Prophet would act now. I think I could talk about what he would want us to do, and we talked about that earlier, right? That, the beauty of Prophet Muhammad, all the prophets, and great leadership in general from Martin Luther King Jr., Frederick Douglass, you name it, is that they have the ability to take a bad situation and turn it into a good situation. So I think he would encourage us not to despair. I mean, think about it. Can we get any worse than ISIS? So like the road's like up from here. Like it's hopefully we can't get worse than that. Can we get worse than like extreme xenophobia and Islamophobia? Hopefully not. So it's like everything hopefully looks positive. So I think he would encourage us to be not naive, to be concerned about those things, but then also to see that, you know, from here it's basically moving forward.
In your lectures, you stay current with pop culture. You make references to things like Breaking Bad. Now, why do you feel making such references to pop culture is important?
Took a picture with Drake.
Yeah.
Took a picture with Drake.
Really?
Well, I think that popular culture is a mirror of, a lot of the arts are mirrors of people's spiritual places. So I think that it's a language that needs to be used to communicate sometimes messages effectively. It's so, you know, this is the age of leisure. People have access to leisure in ways that were unheard of before. So it's an important mechanism to communicate with others, and it creates commonality as well.
In your lecture that you just had here at the Hilton, you mentioned in your lecture the Heal the Hood concept. Now talk to us a little bit more about that.
Right. About 3 or 4 years ago in Boston, we started something called Heal the Hood that was designed for emergent delinquents within the Muslim community. So it recognized spiritual needs, financial needs, and educational needs, as well as social needs. It wasn't altogether successful. Maybe it was ahead of its time to some degree, but it did keep a number of people out of potentially being in jail or being hurt or killed. So it was successful to some degree.
Thank you once again for joining us. We're very honored to have you here, Imam Suhaib Webb. We really appreciate it, and we're very, very happy that you have come to London and honored us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Muslim View. I'm your host, Sarah Darsha, and
Rafat Hussain.
we're here celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Islamic Center at the Four Points Sheraton. Rifat, what are your thoughts on it so far?
You know, I think it's been a tremendous evening. The turnout has been great. We've had members who have found the center to I think the third or fourth generation. I see little kids running around here, so I'm looking at them thinking, okay, yeah, in about 20 years they'll be able to pick up where we are. But just the turnout, the atmosphere, the ambiance, just everything has been so positive. And I think reflective of just what you see with regards to the presentations, to the interviews, to the attendees that are here. Like it's overall just very positive.
Tell me about a special moment that you've had with the Islamic Center, a special moment to you.
Mine has always been with the education. I've been involved with the school for over 15 years. And I have worked with one specific generation. And watching them grow from one to another, just, learning, the Khalifas, whereas they didn't know what the Khalifas were, it was more like the Prophet's four best friends, to then like major surahs and now from that onwards, they're now pillars in the community working with youth, coaching basketball, tutoring, mentoring, like watching them grow from a 5-year-old to a 21-year-old, it makes you feel old. But you look at them, it's like going, okay, you know what? I had a little bit of it. I had a part of that, and I think that's been the most rewarding for me. And I think the best part was every Sunday when I get to see the kids, it wasn't just a hi. It was like a huge hug and a kiss. And the kisses and hugs were so powerful that, you'd lose balance. So now I think that's what I remember. And that's what I'll always cherish.
Thank you, Rafat.
Thank you, my dear.
Join us for more interviewing the founders of the community, the board members, the president of this wonderful event. Talk to us a little bit about celebrating the 20 years of the Islamic Center. How do you feel about it today?
Oh, very much. Once we got it, I was the first treasurer, basically. And I was very skeptical that we will be able to afford it, I must say. So anyway, we put the money in and we got the center. I mean, 8 families, and we got the center. And I was really very pleasantly surprised at how generous the community was. I mean, in the first year, we renovated, we insulated the building. We put a new wall, put a new kitchen, a school. We made modification. And in first year, we must have spent about $250,000.
We're saying 20 years, but in reality, it's 25 years since we started meeting to discuss and plan the formation of the center. The center itself, as a corporation, is 21 years old, but the group and the activities is 25. And the only part that I feel sad about is that there are many of the friends and colleagues are not with us today that helped build it and help us start it. But it's wonderful to see the new program, the young generations that are working, and the new ones that we expect that they will be coming along, like your little ones. So inshallah, it's a fantastic thing to look forward to as well. It's not just the past, but we're looking towards the future.
In London, at least, it was the first center where we have women on board. We had 2 on the first, Najat and Asma Mazraki. I think it was very interesting time that we had.
You shouldn't be doing this. Women shouldn't be on the board, etc., etc. So we had to face these things and deal with them. And alhamdulillah, the community now is a lot open-minded, and they realize that we're here in Canada and you have to deal with Islam in Canada, not the way it is in Lebanon or Egypt or other countries.
Welcome back to the show. We are now at a segment where we're going to be introduced to the founding members of the Islamic Center. What we do know so far is that 9 families are involved, so hopefully we'll get a chance to know them better and the accomplishments as well as the struggles they've gone through to make this day happen.
We are going to honor the founding families. We would like to first recognize the 9 families who took a leap of faith to establish a new place of worship. for a future generation. They believed in the philosophy, built it, and they would come. And come, they certainly did. We are forever grateful for their vision and dedication. We wish to acknowledge and thank these extraordinary families. Hani and Najat Hassan. Dr. Zafar and Angie Hussain. Hani and Fadia Shausher. Dr. Kadri Aliyekamu and Dr. Fatima Mustafa. Naeem and Brenda Karachi. Dr. Hani and Dr. Naeem Shafi. Asam and Anisa Fidel. Hisham and Aisha Slim. Khani and Asma Mazraki. And if you know this extraordinary group of individuals, you would know that they are very humble and they're not comfortable with being in the limelight, but I still ask that you join in giving them a round of applause.
Welcome to Canada. Welcome to Canada.
Welcome to Canada. I am happy in London. There are a lot of things to here for the kids and the men and women. There's so much things to play or work in Canada. I'm happy really much.
Welcome to Canada, and I'm so glad to see you. There's a lot to do, and there's a lot of food to eat, and your life will be new, and your life will be good.
Welcome to Canada. It's a peace place with no wars, and lots of fun, lots of happiness, and lots of food.
I want them to be happy and to have lots of friends at our school. Welcome to London.
Assalamu alaikum, my friends. Welcome to Canada.
We hope that you feel welcomed, and we're happy to have you here.
Welcome to Canada.
Welcome all the Syrian refugees to Canada, and I hope you have fun and a safe living environment.
Welcome to Canada.
It's a safe country, a fun country, and it's just probably the best country.
Welcome to Canada.
Get to meet one day and maybe talk a bit and get to know each other.
I'm happy you're coming to London. I hope one day we'll be friends.
One day we're gonna be friends. Welcome to Canada.
Have a great time. Welcome to Canada.